Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing one of my back to school series, and this one is actually going to be on organization. It's not going to quite be like a what's in my bag, I will do that one later, but this is more for anyone who has a locker or just some tips on like the first days of class and stuff like that. So first off, I'm going to start with locker. I know for me, in elementary school, which for me was kindergarten to grade 8, I didn't have middle school, we didn't have lockers. You just had like your backpack hooked in the back of the class kind of thing and then your desk. But high school, you get your own lockers. Sometimes you change lockers after the first semester to be closer to your second semester classes. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But this is something I got when I was in grade 9, and it has been with me through high school. And I use it now in university for my gym locker, because I rent a gym locker at school so I can go to the gym, since we have a membership to that. Really nice gym, by the way. So these you can get at probably any store. I think Walmart has some similar ones. These ones I probably got at Staples. So the first thing is a mirror. Try not to blind you guys. And I know they have different finishes. I just got the silver metal ones because they were the easiest to deal with, and I liked them. So this is great to stick on your locker if you want to do a makeup check, or you just want to make sure that your hair doesn't go all one way after you're walking in the wind. So that's a great pick. I really like this. And then the next one I already have filled in to show you guys, and it's a little locker organizer. Again, I'm trying not to blind you. So it has a little mirror again, so if you didn't end up buying a big mirror, that one works. Has a little shield right here where you can stick a picture or pictures if you like. For me, I don't think I really ever stuck anything in there. Maybe just little notes, like little tiny notes, something like that. So it's got 3 different compartments, and this first one I just put pens in because you can fit a fair few pens, extra stash in case you need like a highlighter or pens that you forgot your pencil case, because I have been known to walk out of my house without. Not fun. Don't do it. And then the next little one, just a little compartment. I actually have a little pack of tissues in here. Fits perfectly, and there's still extra space. And you can stick some sticky notes in there if that one fits, or you can stick the bigger ones in this back one. I have another mirror in this. Ugh, that's from something else though. And then you have a bigger one, and you can see when the mirror is gone. I have a thing of tape in here just to show you what size you can do. And then the back one, just a little flat styled one, so you can fit a decent amount of paper, stack it upright rather, or put it on its side. So this definitely holds a lot more than you think at first. So that is brilliant. Another thing that I used in my high school locker was it's kind of a shelf brace. I had a couple different kinds. The first one I think only lasted through grade 9, and then the rest of them I changed it the next year. And it has a plastic waffle, so it's kind of obviously not metal, but it looks like this, and it was a nice square that you could just pop in your locker, and then when you turn it so it lies flat, there were metal legs that came out, so you can just sit down to the bottom so not everything's sitting on the floor, because I know like my lockers only had a top shelf, which you had to negotiate with in order to get binders and other things in there. I usually kept a box of tissues, and then some smaller binders or some small textbooks. But these shelves were buildable, so you could hang your coat obviously on the hooks, and then stack up your binders or your textbooks, and then in the winter you could actually fit in your winter boots underneath of it so that nothing of yours would be touching it. Because if you didn't have any shelves, then you'd have to pile your binders on your boots, which was never going to end well for anybody. So those worked like a charm. I loved those. I probably still have one of them. I had a couple of them somewhere, but I haven't used it for a couple of years now. And I don't use them in my gym locker because the gym lockers are only half lockers. So you literally just put your bag in there, put your boots or your shoes, whatever you're changing into or from, and just shove it in there. Another tip I have is, hold on, let's put that back, is for binders. Of course, when you go back to school shopping, you're gonna get binders for like all of your classes and notebooks, and unless you're in university and you choose to use a laptop instead, I would still suggest having maybe smaller binders for your class, or maybe one big binder if you only have a few sheets you can just shove it in. But for high school, I think the best thing to do for the first probably couple of weeks is to start off with like a 1.5 2-inch binder, something thick along the sides. So if you start with a big binder like this, that way you're not carrying around 1,000 things, and if your textbooks are bigger or heavier and you need to carry more of them home, all you gotta do is grab one binder instead of like 3 or 4 and shove them in your bag. And then obviously when it gets too full with your subjects, you can branch off into other binders. Sometimes I find that 1-inch binders work like a charm, but in high school I know with doing all your notes written out and stuff, I would go for a 1.5 to 2-inch binder. I don't really recommend one binder over another. I find either way, at the end of the year, the majority of your binders need to be replaced because they don't make them all that fabulous. They usually break. But this one was, or is, a cardinal binder, and I have these in a bunch of colors. I have the blue, I have red and green, and that's another thing. Color coordinate your binders so that way, or label them, like you saw mine had French on the side. Labels work really well, especially if you do end up getting binders of all the same color, whether your parents bought them or you just didn't think of changing colors. Labels are the best, or color coordinate. Also, if you're going to be using notebooks for the class as well, not just loose leaf paper, I would suggest trying to match the notebook to the binder as well, which is really simple if you have Hilroy binder or Hilroy notebooks, because they do come in like 5 or 6 colors, and most of those do have a somewhat of equivalent in a binder. So that helps you stay organized as well. And I'm trying to think. Just dress up your locker. I know I used to have collages or funny quotes and funny sayings, or even a whiteboard. I had a couple whiteboards. If you share a locker with a friend, then you guys can leave little notes for each other, whether like, don't let your dirty boots touch my coat, or hope you're having a great day, stuff like that. And I hope you guys find this helpful. Comment below, let me know what other videos you'd like to see on the subject. I have a few ideas, and we'll see how many I can get through and what you guys like. I'll also link those below. See you guys.